What is up, guys? Randomonium here. We're going to be doing a VOD review of the game that was the last video that I released that was for the subscriber scrims, except this time we're going to focus on it from the opposing team's perspective. So these were some subscribers that played with us, and they were very gracious and for helping us out with a scrim and letting us try out some different comps. So I wanted to hopefully help them out a little bit, and hopefully they can learn from this video, and hopefully we'll get to play them again, and they will learn from this, and the next time we play, it'll be a lot closer, more competitive, and we can, gauge how they've improved and have better games. Basically, is my long-term goal. I am going to be kind of critical of them in this VOD review, so hopefully they don't take that too personally. I am trying to do it just so that they will get better. And hopefully you guys won't be too mean to them in the comments. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to kind of challenge another team. So hopefully you guys will show some respect to them and keep things civil. So real fast, before we actually get into the laning phase, I do want to go over kind of the pick ban and talk about like general team strategies and things like that. So they actually first picked the Aatrox, which I think is fine. I mean, Aatrox is a good pick, very versatile, can go top or jungle, fits well into a lot of different team compositions. As a response, we picked up Xayah Rakan, which is also, I think, a really good pick. So we weren't really showing too much of our hand at that point. They responded with the Nunu Fizz. So that feels a little bit bipolar to me. I know that their mid laner didn't have a huge champion pool, but you're basically picking one champion that's really good in like a catch composition or maybe a split push composition, which would be the Fizz, and then you're picking two others that don't have very good engage potential. I mean, the Nunu kind of can if he's clever with how he does his snowball and stuff, but in general, Fizz is much more of a backline champion that I would expect to go well with, more like a diver, like Warwick, Jarvan, Rek'Sai, things like that, or even an assassin like Kha'Zix or something like that. So yeah, that was kind of curious to us a little bit. As a response, we picked up Lissandra and Sejuani in the next round. So at that point, we have Xayah, Rakan, Lissandra, Sejuani. So we're looking pretty beefy, definitely an attack composition. And their team chose the Lux and the Jhin as the last two picks. These aren't bad picks, I don't think. I think actually the Lux is pretty good. The Jhin had me a little bit concerned because we have a lot of very tanky champions, and especially when we pick the Malphite as the last pick. We have a lot of tanky champions, and no one on their team can deal with a bunch of tanky champions. So I feel like picking at least one DPS champion probably would have been a good call, either for mid lane or bot lane, or support. I mean, if they had picked up like a Brand or something like that, that could have potentially worked. But the fact that they chose so much burst damage made it difficult for them when we picked a lot of very tanky champions instead. That said, they do have an advantage if they snowball an early lead. Like, catch compositions are very good against attack compositions, especially since catch compositions are usually stronger in the early game. But as we discussed in the previous video, they didn't really play around their win conditions of catching out someone and then starting a fight. They would try to start a fight 5v5, which usually did not go well for them. So that's kind of the basically the pick ban phase and things like that. So you can see what exactly my thought process was going into pick ban. I don't think that their comp was particularly bad. I just think that they were very reliant on the early game in order to be successful. As far as the runes and starting items, first off, he went Aftershock, which I do not like. Not on Aatrox, especially not in this matchup. You're up against multiple champions that are very tanky. You're up against a Malphite, a Sejuani, Lissandra, all of which are pretty tanky. There's no real reason that I can see personally for going Aftershock as opposed to Conqueror. Conqueror will help you shred through tanks a little bit better. You also potentially go for Comet. Aftershock seems like a mistake from my perspective. I mean, even Grasp of the Undying I think would have been a better Keystone Rune than Aftershock. But if there's a particular reason why you did that, let me know. Also, I think Dorn's Shield is way too defensive as a starting item. You're up against a Malphite. You're not concerned with him killing you in laning phase, or at least you shouldn't be. You should be trying to go something more aggressive, like Dorn's Blade, or I would actually think that probably the best choice would have been going Longsword and either 3 pots or refillable potion. That'll get you to your Black Cleaver faster, which is the first item you want to get, especially since you've got both the Malphite and the Sejuani who are going to be on your side of the map. So I definitely think there was a few mistakes when it came to rune choices and starting item choices. So getting into the actual laning phase, I'm going to take it up to 2 times speed, just so we can get through it relatively quickly. I will be stopping it on occasion. You're using your abilities to clear the wave. I think you should try to be using your abilities for harass. And then you can last hit the wave. So basically use your abilities to zone the Malphite off the wave and make it so that he misses CS, and use your last hits on minions. And that'll build up a slow push wave, which will protect you against from ganks early on if the wave is big enough. So yeah, I don't see why you're trying to use all your abilities on the wave there. I don't see the reason for that. You could instead, step up a little bit more and trying to use the abilities on the Malphite instead. You're not worried about mana or anything like that. So you basically want to try and trade with the Malphite and make him try to burn his mana. Once he burns his mana, he's really vulnerable to your all-in. This I don't like at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera off of you and I'm going to show you how many minions you miss. So you didn't get the wave push under tower right now, and this is going to really hurt your laning phase by doing this. So you roam down because you see that Nunu and I are fighting over the Scuttle Crab. So let's just count how many minions you lose. So there's 1. Thankfully you've got a cannon there. You missed the cannon. That's 2. And then you come back. So you missed out on like 100 gold. You put yourself at a experience disadvantage. So now the Malphite is level 3 and you're level 2, and you didn't gain anything for it. If you had pushed the wave under tower, that would have been a lot better. And it would have been a much better roam. And actually what you could have done is if you'd pushed this wave under tower, you potentially could have invaded me with the Nunu, and that would have been a really smart play. The fact that it kind of got frozen right outside of tower range was really bad, because now you're at a experienced disadvantage. The Malphite's got 15 CS to your 7 CS, so you're kind of on the back foot now in a matchup that you should be winning. Now you're trading a little bit more into the Malphite, which is good. Good. This is better. You should be trying to trade into the Malphite more with your abilities, and then use your autos to last hit. So now the wave is pushing into you, so ideally you would want to try and freeze this. You're not using your abilities on Malphite, you're using them all on the minions. So you're basically giving the Malphite a free laning phase right now. And now you're way low health. The Malphite has got corrupting potions. You're kind of in a really bad spot now, because you were tanking a lot of minion aggro there as well. So at this point, you need to back. You need to back right now and TP back in, because you have no way of trading with the Malphite. Yeah, the Malphite's got plenty of mana. He's just going to poke you out. You can't be aggressive at all. And the wave is slow pushing out, so you're going to get denied more experience and more gold. I really do think you need to back here. Okay, the Malphite has no mana as well, so you could be a little bit more aggressive with him. Like, if you backed right now and immediately TP'd, you could all in the Malphite really easily, because he has no mana. Okay, you got level 6. See, the Malphite's got a 10 CS lead on you already. And you're very defensive. The Malphite can roam if he wants to. Yeah, you can see the CS lead is growing. Okay, this is bad. You should not be backing here. You need to push this to tower. Here, let's watch. You lose 1 minion, 2 minions, 3 minions, 4 minions, 5 minions, 6 minions. You lose a whole wave to the tower because you didn't push it in. So that's more experience and gold that you're losing. Malphite TPs, so you should be calling that. Your items are a bit weird. Here, let me actually back this up and see how much gold you had. Okay, let's see how much gold you had when you back. You had 1,600 in the bank. That should be enough for Phage, but you don't buy it. You buy boots. Yeah, I don't understand this. You buy boots, you buy a cloth armor, which you don't need at all. The Malphite doesn't do physical damage to you. The Sejuani's not doing physical damage to you. You want that Phage as soon as possible. I mean, the refillable is fine, but you really wanted that Phage first item on your first back. See the Malphite's down here. He's getting assists. He potentially could TP. Probably not. I think the fight's pretty much over at this point. But yeah, I think you made a poor choice on what items you got. You can see that the Malphite's going towards looks like he's going towards what do you call it? Iceborne Gauntlet, first item. You can see what the power difference is. He's actually building toward, he's probably gonna hit his first item before you do. There you go. That's a much better trade. With Aatrox, it's a war of attrition. You have to poke him out. You have to make him spend all of his corrupting potions, make him use his mana. Again, you're playing really far back. You need to get this under tower. You can't have it kind of perma-frozen in this spot. This is like prime ganking position for me as the Sejuani. Okay, so you got under tower. Now you should be looking to ward. I'm pretty sure you have wards available. Oh, that's the other thing, is you should have gotten a pink ward when you backed, because you're gonna always outpush the Malphite. You definitely should have a pink ward on that first back as well. So yep, I show up. We played that kind of badly. But then right here, there's no reason for you to flash. I'm level 5, I don't have my ultimate. I'm not going to follow you under tower. I think the flash was unneeded. I understand maybe you panicked a little bit. But yeah, you were fine. You didn't need to flash there. Unlucky. This is all fine. Malphite shows up. He's trying to freeze. You want to make sure he doesn't freeze. Good. That was a good trade. So I don't know if you need to back here. What do you get? Yeah, I don't know if there's any reason to back there. Because you had decent amount of health. You just had a really good trade into the Malphite. I think you could have stayed a little bit longer and traded with him more. You are doing a good job catching up on CS. The CS gap is closed. Good last hitting under tower. It's good. You're pushing. Get a plate. Malphite is mid. I don't like this TP. There's nothing you were gonna be able to do with the Fizz. You TPing here doesn't do much. You could have just stayed top, kept pushing, get tower plates, create pressure, force other people up here. I don't think this TP gets you anything. You just wind up wasting a summoner spell for nothing. Yeah, like you could have got an extra plate or two in this time period. You'd stay top. Alright, so you're almost there. You pop the ultimate. Unfortunately, the Nunu takes turret aggro. Yeah, our Lissandra misplays a little bit. And then I wind up killing you. So let's take a look at that. Because I don't really think you needed to go for this. Lissandra TP's in. Yeah. I think this is too risky. This is too ballsy. You don't want to go for those coin flip type scenarios. Because you wind up giving over 2 kills for 1. And now the Malphite's going to get a lot of solo time up with your tower. So look at all that health. So that play lost you 50% of your turret's health. Now the Malphite TP's in. It helps us secure a Drake. That was off of being too greedy with this mid play. So you got your Black Cleaver. That's good. Good first item. I agree with that. This is all good. You're trying to get the tower, first tower. See, if you had not TP'd mid, you would have gotten that tower. You would have gotten first tower. So yeah. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you're an Aatrox. You should be trying to set up a split push. There's no way the Malphite will ever match you in a split push situation. So you can just create constant pressure. As long as you ward up properly. I still haven't seen you buy any pink wards yet. So you gotta be careful. You're in like danger range right now. You missed a lot of your abilities, which caused you to lose the trade against the Malphite. Yep. Get to pop the ultimate. Oh. Yeah, you didn't need to flash there. If anything, the Nunu could have finished it off if he used his ultimate. Yeah, he used his ultimate a bit late. You wind up losing first tower. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the laning phase. As soon as the first tower goes down, that's the end of laning phase. So really, for the Aatrox, I'd say you got to change your runes to be according to the matchup. I think that if you'd gone Conqueror, you would have done a lot better in lane. Starting item, don't think Dorn Shield helped you that much. I think you should have gone Longsword 3-pot. That would have allowed you to get your Black Cleaver a lot sooner. I think that cloth armor you bought was useless, and it delayed your Black Cleaver. So between the Dorn's shield and the cloth armor, so that's you really gimped yourself out of like a couple kills worth of gold, of items that you didn't really use that much, and you could have gotten your Black Cleaver that much sooner. I think the mid TP play was not a good call. I think you should just stay top, trying to get that you need to get that experience advantage and that level, or sorry, the gold advantage over the Malphite, so that way you can split push effectively against him. Because the Malphite's always going to be better than you in team fights, but you're going to always be better than him in split pushing. Also, you have the advantage in the laning phase, so you need to be punishing the Malphite with your abilities, and you should be trying to last hit with your auto attacks, rather than trying to just mindlessly clear waves with your abilities. So I hope that is helpful. I'm going to reset, and I'm going to look at mid lane now. We'll look at the Fizz. Alright, so Fizz into Lissandra, not a fun matchup for the Fizz. Started off with Dorn's Ring. I think you could have also gone Darkseal refillable, and then turn that refillable into a corrupting potion, since you know that Lissandra's going to be poking you a lot. But that might have been a more defensive lane for you. But yeah, let's see how you played the laning phase. You're playing really far back. You get the first 3 minions. You avoided the Q. That was all pretty good. Keep the minion wave outside of turret range. I also like that. You use your E again to avoid damage and get last hits, which is all good. So you see me walk through as I go up towards top crab. Okay, so now you leave. Let's watch your lane when you leave. You leave and you lose the cannon. So just by me like playing around and forcing out the Aatrox and the Fizz missed out on the cannon, and the Aatrox missed out on the cannon and 1 minion. So automatically, just by doing that, I gave my team what, like 150 gold lead, just by kind of baiting people. So this type of things you have to consider is, you know, if you go for something like you're gonna try and collapse on me in the river, what's the cost of doing that? So little things here and there wind up adding up. So you can see now our team has got a 200 gold lead. So you're getting pushed in, which is to be expected on the Fizz. Having a little bit of difficulty last hitting under tower. But you're keeping the CS pretty even, which is good. That's really hard to do in this matchup. So that's definitely a positive. Now, Lissandra's got no mana, so you should be looking to try and trade with her. You're both level 4 now. Like right now, be looking to trade. Minion waves are even. Yeah. That was decent. I won't say that was bad or good. That was could have been played a little bit better, but it wasn't bad. Unfortunately, you didn't get any summoners out of Lissandra. If you had traded a little bit with her sooner, when she didn't have any mana, and then the gank came in, you might have been able to get the kill, or at least burned a summoner. But because you were playing so passive in the lane phase earlier, the chance of that gank getting a kill was pretty small without having level 6. So Lissandra's still low mana, so I'd be trying to shove her, trying to pressure her. So you know she's backing. You back. I mean, I don't know if I like that, because she's going to come back and she's just going to shove the wave, and I think you're going to miss some minions. Because you have knights. You miss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You missed 9 minions, so and the Lysandra gets a roam on. So I think that was a poor back timing. I think you need to try and shove the wave or trade with her or do something. The other thing is you're going for, looks like you're going for Lichbane first. I don't know if I agree with Lichbane first. Because you're seeing what the Lysandra's doing. She's just constantly shoving you in over and over again. You need to be able to match her wave clear so that you can actually roam. Whichever mid laner is able to roam more is most likely going to win the game. And especially with this matchup, Lysandra roams are pretty deadly, and Fizz roams are pretty deadly too. So I would probably go for Proto Belt to give you more wave clear. And I think that's a pretty common first item on Fizz. That would allow you to at least try and match the pressure of Lysandra when it comes to wave clear. So you come down to assist the Nunu, and it winds up costing you 2 minions, 3 minions. Yeah, it winds up costing you 3 minions there. You come down again, you're not able to do much. Costs you another minion. So you can see how these little things start adding up. You can see that how me just constantly poking and prodding and constantly like fighting a little bit here and there, but never fully committing. I'm just slowly kind of causing you guys to bleed out little bits of gold here and there, just ever so slightly. Just a CS here, a CS there, things that you would never really notice that much, but it's all part of the plan. It's all intentional. So you see, you roam here as well. You're gonna wind up missing one minion so far. Actually, that wasn't a bad roam because the lane was pushing into you. That flash seemed a little preemptive. I understand why you did it. This is good. I like how you're just sticking around here. Just biding your time, waiting for... You see the Rakan. Easy kill. That was good. That was a very good play. The way you did that. And you're heading back to mid lane. You need to be hard shoving this before... You need to get this wave under tower before Lysandra gets back. You could have denied her a few CS if you had pushed it a little bit harder. And now she's going to be able to push it back a lot faster than you can, and you're going to probably miss out on some CS. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you might have gotten at least a couple of those if you had pushed a little bit harder. You can see the Lysandra's just hard shoving over and over again. That allows her to roam. And then you're put in this like weird situation where you're trying to farm under tower. Ooh, you're missing out on so many minions. Like, there's no reason to put that ward there. I think you were trying to maybe see if to verify the Lysandra recalled. But you're missing out on experience, you're missing out on CS by doing that. So now you're almost a kill down in CS now, and you're at least part of a level down when it comes to experience. This isn't good either because you didn't push the wave in. So now you're losing more minions. Before you roam, you always want to try and push it under tower. That's kind of just a general rule. I mean, this is fine. That was good. Roaming down again. You're missing out on minions again. 2 more minions that you had to miss. This is good. I like all this. Oh, yeah, that was a little bit too. You had a good trade there. You got out her ultimate. You gotta kind of bait that out a little bit. Now, if you had held on to your ultimate, then you would have ultimate and she wouldn't have ultimate. Then when all your cooldowns are back up, you all in her again, and it's probably gonna be a lot more of a potent engage. You roam down late. You're not gonna really get much out of this, and you wind up losing quite a few minions because of that as well. So in our team comms, I saw that you E'd. So you coming this way is so greedy. Because what happens, Malphite ults you, yeah, you're dead. So because your E was down, you could not come this way. You had to I don't even think you could come through this direction. You probably would have had to have gone all the way around in order to safely get back, or you would have had to wait for your E to be off cooldown again. So yeah, that's why I was constantly telling him to ult, because I saw that you had E'd there. Alright, so we got this play that's going on right here. Your team dives, winds up being pretty bad for you guys, since it winds up being a 2-for-1. Potentially what you could have done is you could have gone top. So there's not much that you're going to get done here. But if you go top to match the Malphite doesn't get all this turret damage down. And if you look at the Malphite's item, he has no MR right now. So if you'd gone towards top side, you wouldn't have lost all of this. And you potentially could have gotten a lot of damage on the Malphite. Because now Malphite TP's in, you guys aren't really getting anything from this entire time. So yeah, you basically just stood around and watched us take the Drake. You guys couldn't really contest it. And now you're moving in here. And the real question that I have for you guys is what's there to fight over? You guys are stepping up into the river when you know that we're here looking for a fight. You know your Aatrox is topside. So at best, this is a 4v4. It's probably a 5v4 though. And yeah, this is what it winds up being a complete wipe for you guys. We wind up getting multiple kills. There was no reason to fight there. Like, the objective had already been taken. You didn't have a numbers advantage. So you shouldn't have been trying to step into the river when you knew that we were there. All right. Anytime Lysandra is disappearing, you should be trying to push this wave harder. You're trying to keep her in lane as much as possible. Like, feel confident in your abilities, right? Like, it's gonna be very hard for us to gank you as Fizz as long as you don't waste your E cooldown unnecessarily. Vision control seems a bit lacking. I don't think I've seen anybody... Actually, bot lane's buying pink wards, but it doesn't look like anybody else is buying pink ward. Hard shove. Okay, and that's the end of the laning phase. Come up here. You don't really get any ward center or anything. Like, if you had I don't know if you had a ward available, but if you did, you should be trying to get like deep wards, like up here or up here. This would be great for like a pink ward. Like, this bush is phenomenal for pink wards if you can get back here. And Fizz has got enough mobility that usually he can get that pink ward. So yeah, so laning phase. you should be looking to trade whenever the Lyssandra's abilities are on cooldown. Like if she's using her abilities to clear the wave, then that means that she doesn't have her abilities if you decide to go for a fight. So you should definitely be looking to punish the Lysandra when she uses her abilities to clear the wave. When her mana is low, you should be looking to trade as often as you can. And you should always be trying to hard shove the wave whenever the Lysandra is missing. So at a bare minimum, she loses some CS on her tower. She takes some tower damage. Also, you kind of hurt yourself by trying to roam when the lane was in a bad position. You wound up missing out on, I think, at least 15 minions just by roaming or trying to roam at the wrong times. So that's like a kill worth of gold that you lost when it came to minions. So just be mindful that anytime you walk out of lane, there's an opportunity cost to that. And if you wind up doing that too many times and you don't gain any reward from that, you kind of hamstring yourself unnecessarily. So let's focus on the bot lane now. So speed up a little bit more, go a little bit faster. I do like the fact that you guys 5-pointed. Alright, and you help with the leash. You guys come to lane. You get the first 3 minions, that's good. Ugh, I didn't like that that first Q from the Lux. You wanted to aim it a little bit further back. You're trying to, really with this initial harass, you're trying to cause the Xayah to miss CS or choose between taking damage and missing CS, basically. So now you guys are giving up pressure, so they get the level 2 first. Lux was a bit too far back, so Jhin got level 2, but the Lux didn't. That was a good Q. I like that. Sorry, E from the Lux. The Lux is still level 1. There, now she finally got level 2. You gotta be very careful that you're staying in EXP range. Yeah, Lux, you're playing too passive. You need to support your AD carry so he can get this CS. You got lucky because Rakan accidentally ignited you instead of Jhin, but that should have been first blood right there. So you can't play that far back. You always want to try and support your AD carry so they can actually get some CS. So Jhin winds up having to back. Let me fix this. So all that CS, all that experience dies to tower. Xayah is able to basically free push. Yep, you're down 10 CS at the 4-minute mark. So you guys know that they probably back now, so you should be looking to hard shove. I would say, like, even with the Lux's abilities, you should be trying to hard shove. Because if you don't get this hard shove on, if they get back before you get this under tower, it's really bad for you. Yeah, see, watch what happens. I think they do this. I think they're going to wind up freezing you out. Yeah. Now you're in a bad spot, because you want to recall, but you can't really. And now I come in as a Sejuani, I blow both your flashes. So if you guys had pushed it a little bit harder and gotten this under tower, then you would have been able to get your recalls off, and you wouldn't have wound up getting both your flashes blown by me. So that's something you have to be very careful is if the enemy's coming back and they've bought and you haven't, you really got to get that under tower, or you're going to be in a whole world of hurt, because I can just freeze the lane on you really easily. The only way you'll break it is if they mess up, or if you get jungle assistance. So now the wave's getting pushed back into you, which means you still can't back. You don't have mana. So you guys are trying to roam. But yeah, because my bot laners got their back off. You guys were in a bad spot. Winds up giving the Nina winds up giving over first blood. This is fine what you're trying to do, but again, you still haven't backed yet. This is actually good that you guys aren't going for this. That you're trying to back off. This would be a bad idea if you guys tried to continue to fight. Good pick by the Fizz. You guys go back to lane. There's no reason to... I would try to reset at this point. Yeah, reset. Yeah, you're just wasting all this time. Just reset. Are you waiting for a certain gold amount? You're 1073. Guess you're waiting for the 1300 so you can get BF sword. Ooh, bad reset. Wave still isn't pushed in. Watch this. 1 minion, 2 minions, 3 minions, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lost 8 minions. You got your BF sword, but you lost 8 minions as a result of it. And that's experience too. This is good. Good harass. I mean, you could have also been throwing out your Deadly Flourish to try and lock down the Xayah. If you land a Deadly Flourish or you land the Lux lands a Binding, you could potentially double ult and kill them. Yeah, like here, like Rakan's super low. You both got ults. This is a prime spot to ult. You just back off, you both have long range ults. Yeah, I think you missed an opportunity there. Yeah, I would definitely be ulting right here. Yeah, Nunu invades when you guys don't have priority. Winds up killing him. This is good. I like that you're getting tower plates. Get 2 plates. This is good. That was good. But I think you guys played it way too safe. You could have punished them with ultimates a lot better. We wind up getting the Drake. Yep. No reason to be trying to clear this ward. I know I already touched on it. You guys are so split out. You got Aatrox top lane. This is going back mid. Jin's down here. You two are in the pit. We've got a freaking Rakan and a Malphite. Yeah. we're gonna go in on that every single time. So that winds up hurting you guys pretty considerably because you miss out on a lot of gold, wind up missing out on all this CS, and they wind up getting a bunch of tower damage. Yeah. So now it's like almost a 20 CS lead. They overstay a little bit, and they Xayah went up having to flash. That was a good play by the Nunu. So your tower is low, our tower is getting low. This is gonna draw a lot of jungle pressure. But like I knew that you guys were gonna try and stay and greed for this. So I was beelining it straight for you guys. Yeah, so Rakan puts the ward over, winds up getting that. I come in as well, I don't really help that much, but that pretty much guarantees us first tower. Alright, so that was the laning phase. So for you guys, understand what your advantage is. Your advantage is poke. Their advantage is all in. So you guys need to poke, 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 poke. And then when they're low, there was a couple times where they were low. I mean, try to land that deadly flourish. If you land that deadly flourish, it should be immediate Lux ult and immediately into Jhin ultimate. And you probably could get some kills that way. I think you guys played a little bit too conservative, too safe. The other big thing is you gotta push the tower, and if you push the tower, you should be backing. You had some bad backs that wound up costing you quite a bit, and wound up having you had to burn flashes, because you basically got frozen under tower one time. So that's it. You guys are actually good as far as buying pink wards. So I definitely give you guys props for that. You bought more pink wards than I think the rest of your team. So very good there. You just need to understand wave management a little bit better and understand what your advantage is. Your advantage was your ability to poke consistently. You should have been trying to hit that fourth shot on champions more often, things like that. Okay, so now we're going to reset. We're going to look at the jungler, look at his pathing, and then we'll just go through a couple of the team fights, and then we'll be done. I know this is a long video. I apologize, but this is really what you have to do with a lot of VOD reviews, is you have to be very in-depth, just go through every single lane, every single person, kind of identify things that they need to work on. Okay. So we'll speed this up. You start red, that's fine. I don't think Raptors is a good call here. You either want to go Krugs or you want to be going topside. Raptors just take way too long to clear right now. So you wind up having to give up that scuttle. And also Krugs give the most experience. This is good that you're coming up to contest me at the scuttle and you get that. But as I was saying with the Aatrox, like right here, like you could invade right here and go to my blue, or sorry, my red. And I don't think I could have stopped you, especially if you had a smite consume. That's how you have to play Nunus. You always got to be looking for invades and things like that. You're kind of playing a little bit too cautiously. You go back to farming. This is a good gank mid. Yeah, definitely like the gank mid. Come down, clear the Krugs. So, I believe you actually were on a ward here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you were on a ward. We knew that you were going to go this way. So ideally, like actually like a lane gank here would have been really good, but we did have you in a ward, so it probably wouldn't have worked. But we did see that you were recalling too, which allowed us to, this is why they froze here. They saw that you recalled on a ward, so they decided to freeze, and then I showed up and I burned their flashes. So you can see how us getting those deep boards kind of really hurt you guys. You go for skirmishers? I don't understand that on Nunu. Nunu is all about like utility. I know Nunu's got, you know, slows and stuff and knockups and lots of CC, but more CC. So I'd say Chilling Smite is probably the way to go. I mean, especially against like a Sejuani. Come down bot. Trying to match my pressure. You come in, try to clear the ward. I fight you a little bit. Yeah. So this is kind of a bait. So here, just watch. You can see I'm playing with you. Here, let me back up a little bit more. So watch the minimap. My bot lane disappears right here. You got to be really worried. Now mid lane disappears. Now you really got to be worried. Yeah. So whenever you're playing with the enemy jungler in the river, and you guys are kind of, you know, puffing your chest out and trying to prove who's the better jungler, just keep an eye on the lanes, keep an eye on the minimap, because I was kind of trying to see how long you would stick around. And meanwhile, my bot lane had priority, my mid lane had rotated, which allowed us to get that first kill. You come back down. We're going for Drake. This is a bit ambitious. Yeah. So here, let's go back. I think we were going a little bit too fast here. So you wind up stopping us from taking Drake. Congratulations, that's a freaking win. You stopped us from getting that objective. Like, you should just be happy with what you got, and you got a kill on the Rakan. So you can see like Lux, Jin, they're way back here. You're way up here. So you try to contest me, and then you wind up getting ulted and wind up getting killed. So just understand when you've got a win. Like, you guys stopping the Drake was a win. You guys getting that pick on the Rakan was a win. But then because you went a little bit too far, you wound up turning that into a 1-for-1 when it didn't need to be. Alright, let's speed things up a little bit. You go up towards top side. Clear one camp. You go for Scuttle. That's good. Whoa, I don't understand this. Why did you not clear any topside camps? That was kind of inefficient of you. Yeah, I definitely would have probably wanted to clear those camps, unless there was like some reason. Like, I don't see any reason why you would want to immediately go towards bot side, because your bot lanes were calling and stuff. Whoa, you go to Raptors and then you go back up again? Okay, this is just not efficient pathing. Yeah, just not very efficient with the pathing that you have. Wolves still haven't been taken. You could have taken wolves like at least twice. Get red. Get a ward on Drake. You get the smite off on the Scuttle, that's good. See, this is greedy. Yeah. You wind up forcing me to burn my flash there, but that was greedy. You didn't have vision. If you had a ward like here, that would have been a much safer play, but just like walking into Gromp, not just really greedy. Okay. We come in, then we have this tower dive. I think we've already covered this multiple times. Yeah, you wind up just not being able to kill Lissandra. Yeah, it winds up being a 1-for-2. Actually, should have been a 2-for-0 if my team had played that better. So it winds up being a 1-for-2. So that means that we get to take Drake. So we basically get Drake for free. Oh yeah, and then you guys come in to try and clear this pink ward when there's no reason to try and contest a pink ward, and then we wind up getting 2 kills there. This is good play. You're rolling in for a lane gank on bot lane. You're trying to punish their greed. You wind up burning the flash on the Xayah. Then you come mid lane. That ultimate was a bit off-timed. I think we already covered that. You might have been able to kill the Malphite if you had been a little bit quicker. Oh yeah, this is something I definitely wanted to cover. Okay. Let's cover this. I think this was one of the plays that kind of broke open the floodgates. So let's look at items right now. So Lissandra's completed her Luden's Echo. And she's got double Dark Seal and a Corrupting Potion. I've got Cinder Hulk, I've got Merc Treads, and I'm on my way towards a Warmogs. You've got Cinder Hulk and Merc Treads. Fizz does not even have his Lich Bane yet, so you guys are at a pretty significant item disadvantage. You're also at a level disadvantage. I'm at level 9, you're level 8. Fizz is 10, Lissandra's 11. Lissandra's got level 2 ultimate. That's a big power spike too. You guys are fighting. You see the Lissandra walking this way, so you think you can go on her. You land the binding. Lissandra gets her ultimate off, winds up negating the Lux ult. I land my ult on the Fizz. He's already used his E. Lissandra goes on to the Lux, kills her, 2 for 0. And then my team's got priority because our bot laners, our top side, winds up being a 3 for 0. That play kind of broke your guys' back because after that we get Rift Herald. That allows us to get top tower, allows us to get mid tower, and we start really kind of snowballing the game out of control. So up until that point, I think you guys had a decent chance of coming back as long as you played safely. But as soon as this happens, it winds up being a massive influx of gold. I think the Aatrox also goes down here. Yeah. So here, let's go back and we'll look at the gold difference before this happened and the gold difference after it happens. All right, so this is right around where it started. So you guys are 3.5k gold down. So not great, right? You know, because we're only 18 minutes into the game, but it's not. You definitely can come back from that. So 22.8 to 26.3. So yeah, that's exactly 3.5. Let's fast forward and let's see how far down you guys are after all this happens. We wind up chaining all these objectives together. All right. And then also Malphite got a tower as well. So we go from being 3.5k up to being what is that? 7.6k up. So just in a matter of minutes, we basically doubled our gold lead. More than doubled our gold lead. We went from 3.5k, which is, you can come back from that, to 7.8 thousand gold. That's very, very hard to come back from. At this point, you know, we've got 4 towers to 0. And you guys basically can't contest any objectives. And now you guys are basically just hoping that we throw. So that kind of was the backbreaker right there. That chain of events where you went for that mid play and then you guys wound up getting killed 3-for-0, which led into Rift Herald, which led into Aatrox dying, which led into us getting mid tower, getting top tower, and getting a bot tower. That just kind of your entire team just kind of crumpled around you, and from that point on, I think that there wasn't much you guys could do except for try and hope for a pick. So the thing you guys just gotta be careful of is just kind of like those item power spikes and the level differences. So you guys played a little bit too cautiously, I think, in the early game, resulted in you guys having those CS disadvantages, caused you having those experience disadvantages. We hit that first item power spike sooner than you guys did. You guys gave up a few kills that you didn't need to, which allowed us to accelerate that a little bit faster than we normally would be able to. You had that fight here that you didn't need to fight, which wound up costing you a couple kills. And then this fight here, which just kind of broke everything open. I know that you guys thought you could win it because it was a 3v2. But yeah, it just kind of all went south from there. So I'm going to kind of call it here. I don't want to really go through the rest of it because I think it's kind of a moot point from this point forward. I hope this was useful to you guys. This game definitely was winnable. You guys definitely could have beaten us. You just needed to think about what your win conditions were a little bit clearer, and then understand when you were at an advantage and when you were at a disadvantage, and understand what you were fighting for. You guys don't want to fight 5v5 team fights against a attack comp if you're playing a catch comp. You definitely want to be looking for those picks and things like that. And the best time to look for those picks is the sooner the better, basically. Once Lissandra's got level 2 ultimate, it becomes a lot harder to kill her. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this, please leave a comment. We are always looking to scrim against more people. Just as long as you're nice, we'll try to be nice to you. We'll work with you. If you're not on the same level as us, we will try to tone down our gameplay to try and find something that fits for you guys. And obviously, if you're better than us, we hope that you guys will also tone down your gameplay so we have kind of more fair games. But yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. This is Randomodium signing off.